You want to hear content about the Philadelphia Eagles and the Philadelphia 76ers? That's straight to the point, no nonsense, no over-the-top shenanigans. Say what we got to say and keep it moving. Then you made the right choice coming to Nikki Steve's channel, so stay tuned. Happy Saturday, YouTube. Nikki Steve's back again for another This Week in Philly Sports. I'm going to talk about, this case, 3 Philly sports-related subjects. My bonus subject will be Philly sports-related. So stay tuned to find out what that is. Now, first, you can tell by the logo in the background that I'm going to talk about that team. While it's still fresh on everyone's mind, the possibility of trading Ben Simmons, as promised in yesterday's video, put the link to that in the description box so you can check it out. I'm going to talk about some possible trade options for Ben Simmons. Now, I've seen a lot of stuff going around. I've heard a lot of people pitch out ideas, seen different teams come up in possible trade scenarios. So let's get started. So one of the ones I saw on Twitter was I've seen this shared multiple times, was the possibility that we could send to the Portland Trailblazers this year in 2023's first, Tyrese, Ben, Matisse, and Paul Reed to the Portland Trailblazers to get Damian Lillard. No, I'm not going to go for that. Now, here's the reason why. We need some bench pieces too, and specifically Tyrese, he's a guy that can be a valuable bench piece going forward and someone who has the potential one day to work his way up to a starter. You really want to give up Tyrese and possibly a few other key bench pieces to get Damian Lillard. I mean, this sounds like a good trade on paper. You get Damian Lillard, get one of the top players in the NBA, but do you really want to give up all those bench pieces just to get them? No, I don't like that idea. Now, I've seen some other trade scenarios throwing out Ben, Danny Green, a few first-round picks to the Warriors to get Steph, Kent Bazemore, Jordan Poole, which Kent Bazemore, his best years are behind him as a rotational piece. So I'm not sure about that. I mean, do you really think the Warriors are going to give up Steph Curry? So there's 2 options I've seen thrown around that I don't see that being realistic. Now, there are a few options I do think are realistic. Now, I did say in my Sixers should trade Ben Simmons video, most likely you'd have to find a team like the Detroit Pistons, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and the Charlotte Hornets. Now, I do think those teams, I've had some time to think about, most likely the way that works out is they offer us a few picks to get Ben Simmons. That's what I think would most likely happen there. But there are other teams we could make offers to, and one of them is the Portland Trailblazers. Now, I already said we're not getting Damian Lillard. That's not happening. We'd have to give up way too much to do that. We have to give up guys like Tyrese, Matisse, a few draft picks. That'd be too much. But what we could do, though, we could offer Ben Simmons maybe a few picks to the Trailblazers and get CJ McCollum. Now, that's something that could happen, though, because CJ McCollum would get a valuable replacement for Ben, and the Trailblazers, they're looking to upgrade defensively. They're looking to get better on defense to help out Lillard, so they'll take Ben Simmons because they know he's a valuable defensive player. So they could take that offer, especially if they get a few first-round picks on top of it. So we could possibly do that with the Portland Trailblazers. Another similar trade is they package Ben Simmons and a few first to the Minnesota Timberwolves for D'Angelo Russell. That's another package we could work with because they can get Ben Simmons to help complement Karl Anthony Towns. They get a few extra draft picks to help build up for the future, to make themselves a better team. And we get D'Angelo Russell, who works better as a number 2 guy along with Joel Embiid. So we could do that as well. There's a few possible options. And then we could also do the exact same package with the San Antonio Spurs for DeMar DeRozan. So we could do that as well. But I'm more sold on CJ McCollum or D'Angelo Russell out of those 3 packages right there. Now, there are some other packages I've seen floated around, possibly one with the Chicago Bulls to get Zach LaVine. But here's the thing. If we're going to get Zach LaVine, we'd have to give up Ben and also some of our bench guys, such as Tyrese, Matisse, and maybe a few picks there. But that could be a few too many, though. So if we do go for someone like that or someone like an Aaron Gordon from the Nuggets, we might have to give up a few too many. And this ties into what I said in my Sixers should trade Ben Simmons video, that the possible trading partners are limited. But there are still trading partners out there nonetheless. I mean, I brought up a few scenarios right there, but I also see a few other scenarios I don't think are in the Sixers' best interest. That's why I feel like the possible trading partners for Ben Simmons that are in our best interest are limited. Now I want to switch gears to another team And speaking of trading partners for someone, Philadelphia Eagles and Zach Ertz. Now, we've been hearing about Zach Ertz, the possible trade rumors for months now. It seems like it's likely Zach Ertz isn't going to be there. And look, if he's inevitably going to go, just pull off a deal. If you're Howie Roseman, just pull off a deal, move on, take the cap hit. All right, you know it's coming eventually. Why wait for it? And like I said before, if Zach Ertz is really not showing interest in being here and he's showing interest in moving on, just do it already. Now, there are some possible trade partners for Zach Ertz. Now, most likely is the Buffalo Bills. Now, we could get a mid-round draft pick in return for it, possibly a third, fourth-round draft pick in return for it. Now, here's why this makes the most sense, because the Buffalo Bills are they're trying to go for their first Super Bowl win in their franchise, and they're still on Josh Allen's rookie contract. So they want to get that max return because they already got a great offense built up. They're looking to capitalize on what they did last year. And for them, now bringing in Zach Ertz helps give them some much needed depth at tight end. So they'd be looking forward to that one. And they see that as a potential option to help out. Now for us, though, we make the trade. Okay, we're taking the cap hit no matter what. So we're just going to have to accept it and just deal with it. So we trade them to a team in the AFC where we don't really have to worry about playing them. And plus, we're in rebuilding phase right now. So we're not thinking about looking to try to compete for a championship this year. We're looking about building up and building hope for the future. Looking about at least having a solid season, improve our win total to at least somewhere between maybe 7 or 9 wins to at least signify hope. That's what we're looking for this year. So for us, we trade Zach Ertz to someone in the AFC. We don't have to worry about him, really. So that's a win for us right there. And obviously win for the Bills. They add some depth to their offense that could help them get to that next level. So that's one possibility right there. Now, the Indianapolis Colts are another team. Obviously, Frank Reich, our former offensive coordinator, is the head coach of the Indianapolis Colts. And he's already got Carson Wentz over there. Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz are familiar with each other. That's one right there. The Colts tight ends. You got Jack Doyle. He's been a little bit less productive these past couple of years. And Mo Cox Alley, he's had some moments, but hasn't really shined. So they might want to bring in someone like Zach Ertz, who's familiar with the head coach, familiar with the starting quarterback, and try to get some help at tight end. So they could do that. Maybe the Tennessee Titans are another option. I mean, they already got Julio Jones to add some spark to their offense. They might want to bring in a Zach Ertz as well. I mean, all these possible trades could result in us getting a mid-round pick in return. Here's another likely scenario that's popped up recently. The Kansas City Chiefs. Now, the Kansas City Chiefs, because, Andy Reid's their head coach, but they do have also Travis Kelce. They might want to add some depth there, too. Travis Kelce, Zach Ertz, which gives another option on offense for Mahomes to throw the ball to. And with Zach Ertz injuries these past couple of years, his playing capabilities might become a little limited. So that could be a good option for Zach Ertz. And for us, we could get a draft pick in return for it, because all these scenarios we could get a mid-round draft pick in return, and all these teams that are involved in these scenarios are all AFC teams, which have the one common denominator. We don't really have to worry about them because they're playing for teams in the opposite conference. You only have to play them, the AFC teams, every 4 seasons. So there's that common denominator right there for all these options. Now, I think as of now, though, the most likely option is the Buffalo Bills. It looks like it's the most likely, because like I said, it just seems like the perfect win-win for both sides. The Bills, it gives them that extra spark at tight end, because out of the teams in this scenario, the Bills need help at tight end the most. So that seems like the most likely there for obvious reasons. Now, I have heard the possibility of the Chargers thrown around. Honestly, Hunter Henry left for the Patriots. They also do have Donald Parham and Jared Cook, so they might want to work with those guys. But then again, with Hunter Henry being gone, they could take on Ertz, but the Chargers seem less likely at this point. I mean, in all these scenarios for us, there's always the possibility of a mid-round pick in return, which it couldn't hurt to have an extra draft pick. There's always that possibility in return. But yeah, those are some potential options right there. I'm seeing AFC teams obviously seem the most likely. I think the top 3 picks are the Buffalo Bills, possibly the Indianapolis Colts, and the Kansas City Chiefs as the top 3 picks for, this looks the top 3 picks for Zach Ertz trade partner. And you guys can just let me know what you think are the best options for Zach Ertz trade partner and a Ben Simmons trade partner as well. Now, there's one last subject I want to talk about. As you can tell by the color of this jersey, you know what I'm going to talk about. So the NFL has approved that by 2022, teams can use throwback jerseys as an alternative, which means for the Philadelphia Eagles, the return of Kelly Green. I mean, look, I didn't get to see the Kelly Green in its fullest form. I mean, I saw it here, saw bits of it in 2010, but hey, it's definitely a cool, great color scheme. So definitely, I mean, obviously I don't have the biggest connection to it. A lot of you guys that remember the Kelly Green, you remember Reggie White, Jerome Brown, you actually lived through it, Randall Cunningham, etc. You guys have much fonder memories of the Kelly Green than I do, of course. Now, obviously, the Kelly Green's a great color scheme and a great jersey. So that'll be good because now you can use the Kelly Green to sell some merchandise because, you know, it's definitely going to sell. You got Jalen Hurts, Miles Sanders. Of course, you can, Devontae Smith and those guys. You can now sell Kelly Green uniforms with those guys, Dallas Goedert, so on and so forth. You put some Kelly Green jerseys of those guys in the concession stands or online on Eagles website, NFL shop, you're going to get some jersey sales off of that. And it'll definitely be cool to see them at least show up in the Kelly Green jerseys because it definitely has a cool look to it. I mean, I'm not like a huge fan of like color schemes and types of jerseys, but I like cool looking uniforms. So I like the Kelly Green. I like the Midnight Green. I like the alternative black uniforms we've had since 2003. I feel cool wearing this too. Feel cool with this color scheme on as well. So it's definitely going to be at least good to see the Eagles wear some Kelly Green uniforms. And there's not much else to say about it, so I'll leave it at that. So to everyone that watched this video, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Whatever you do, stay safe. You're going out. Have fun doing so, but please stay safe. Don't drink and drive. And if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and that notification bell so you're notified when I upload a new video. And drop a like if you haven't to show your support for the channel. Of course, have a wonderful day or night. Have a safe weekend. Nikki Stee signing off. And I'll see everyone next time.